Welcome to Wednesdays with Willa. I'm your host, Willa White, and this is my weekly podcast show that airs on my Facebook page, Willa White Medium. And it's an opportunity for me to share about different topics relating to spiritualism, mediumship, healing, faith, family, and more. Frequently I have special guests on the show, and I encourage you to tune into all the different shows and topics that I present each week on Wednesday. It's really wonderful to be able to share that with all of you. So thanks for coming along on the journey. Today I'm doing a special outdoor edition of forest bathing in the autumn woods. I did a special edition for spring, so I encourage you to look back at the archive videos on my Facebook page, Willa White Medium, and you can have the forest bathing experience in the spring woods here in Lilydale. But today I'm going to take you out into the woods for autumn. For those of you who don't know what forest bathing is, it's that time that you take to connect with nature, and walking in the woods has been shown to improve your health. In fact, the Japanese really have extensively studied this, and it's a true blue thing over in Japan to do forest bathing, and many other countries have gotten on board. And I'm so glad that it's something that I always knew was wonderful, to go walking in the woods, but now it's like science backs it up. So I'm going to take you for a little walk here, and I will explain a little bit about what in my research I have found is wonderful about forest bathing in terms of your health, mental and physical. But on the journey, I just want you to enjoy connecting with the special trees here in Lilydale. Many of them are very old. This is the old growth forest section that I'm going to be taking you through, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with you today. If you've ever been in the woods in Lilydale, you know that they're beautiful in every season, but I certainly wanted to highlight the fact that the paths are full of golden leaves right now, and we still have some green on the trees. So I'm going to turn this around so that you can enjoy the look as I cover some of the forest bathing material. So as you can see, we're on the woodland path in the Leolyn Woods area, and there are these beautiful trees. Some of them, as I said, are very, very old, and we have some signs here that indicate some of them. When this sign was put up, this indicated that this is a 180-year-old black cherry tree. So a lot of wonderful old species. I guess this is one of the tallest black cherry trees in New York State. It's about 132 feet tall and growing. So with forest bathing, it's the opportunity for you to connect with the woods, to enjoy the greens and blue of the sky and the woodland browns. And of course, because it's autumn, we have a special view of all of these lovely orange and brown and yellow leaves. And you can see how absolutely green, it makes all of the moss just pop. And I want you to, on this journey, even though I'm going to be talking a bit more about forest bathing, to use this as an opportunity to connect with this environment visually and to clear your mind. That practice of Shinrin-yoku, literally meaning forest bath, it has the power to counter illnesses, including cancer and strokes and gastric ulcers, depression, anxiety and stress. And it boosts your immune system, and it really aids you in sleep. And so this is an opportunity for you, if you haven't been out in the woods, to get a taste of it today with me in forest bathing. It really is about sensory exercises. So you want to hold your attention in that present moment to give your body and your mind a chance to slow down and move slowly and kind of savor looking at the different colors and the patterns and breathing deeply. So one of the things I thought was so cool is that they found scientifically that forest bathing does increase your immunity, it decreases the risk of cancer, and it helps you to recover from illness faster. all that wonderful fresh air. One study even showed that looking at trees through a hospital window increased recovery time for gallbladder surgery patients. And forest bathing enhances immunity cells to such an effect that the positive effects of forest bathing can last more than a week after the forest excursion. Multiple forest bathing studies have demonstrated its ability to significantly reduce blood pressure, stress levels, and pulse rate, and act as an inflammatory effect on your system. And this is one of my favorite stumps here along the path of the Leolyn Woods. It just has this beautiful marbling effect. And it's as if there's a sweep of movement in the wood. And it's almost like looking inside of a fairy castle, if you can imagine. It's like the spiral effect going up, kind of like a shell, the inside of a shell. I love this green, the pop of that green. It's one of my favorite colors. And with the yellow, all that gold and brown. And I can see faces in this. And it's almost like the tresses, the hair of a lovely woman through there. Perhaps you see some other things as well. Now, because this is an old growth forest, this is not a timbered area. So if a tree comes down, it stays down. And they do allow for clearing the path so that people can still walk along this area. But nothing is taken out of this old growth forest. So that's why we have these old species, these ancient ones that we connect with in this space. I really enjoy the fact that I live here in Lilydale and I have the opportunity to walk in the woods and have this experience. On any given day, I can walk out of my woods and either walk out of my house, and go into the woods or go to the lake. It really boosts the mood, and it's something I like to do before I have certain events in my life that I need to be grounded and centered, and this certainly assists. Now, they did a study of 19 men that showed that anxiety, depression, and confusion levels were improved after a forest bathing trip. They compared the forest walking group to one walking through an urban area. And even though both groups had the health benefits of exercise, the forest bathing group clearly won out. It's just an example of how these studies show the mood boosting effects of forest bathing. Of course, forest air is noticeably fresher than city air. So these natural environments, because the trees are busy converting the carbon dioxide into fresh oxygen for our lungs, that symbiotic experience happens. And what's really cool about the science of this is that not only is the air fresher, but there are compounds that are naturally released by the trees that help to decrease inflammation. So some people with breathing problems like asthma or COPD have shown improvement after forest bathing because the oxygen is increased and inflammation is lessened. And those of you who have been to Lilydale before know that I am approaching a very special place known as Inspiration Stump. These are the benches. People congregate here at the various message services that are held here at Inspiration Stump. I've been held here for so many years in this grove of trees. I consider it to be a bit like a cathedral. All of these old trees. So when I come out here to serve as a medium, I look up at the trees and I allow the earth to ground me. And enjoy this experience. See all the golden path we have before us. The lovely leaves are sprinkled on the benches. It's autumn time. And the stump is up ahead. It's so beautiful. So even if you don't have a whole forest available to you, you can go and stand underneath a single tree and just inhale deeply and have the benefit to some degree. And you can lay on a patch of healthy grass and just look up. Look up and see the beautiful crowns of trees as they stretch to the sky. Imagine, if you will, what it feels like to touch the bark gently of these trees. Visualize all of these beautiful colors in front of you. This opportunity to inhale the freshness of the space, the crisp, cool air of autumn. To relax into this moment. And feel restful and peaceful. And you can hear the wind in the trees. And occasionally a bird. I continue our walk in the forest. Just beyond Inspiration Stump, there's a little walking path. For some of this forest therapy. And the way the sun comes down and dapples the ground and touches various leaves. And because it's autumn, there's a special sound that happens when you walk. A special swish, a little bit of a crunch. And you can just enjoy the realness of this moment of connecting with the woods here in Lilydale in autumn. It's a special opportunity for you to see this space. If you're normally a summer visitor, you're probably used to just seeing all of the green abundance of ferns. And now you get to see the glorious autumn colors come alive in the sunlight of today, the wondrous space that we're in. Now, many people, when they're in the woods, they do a special technique called earthing, which means they go barefoot or use those barefoot shoes to improve the experience. It's an extra level of connecting with the earth and grounding yourself. Isn't it beautiful? I actually did another study of forest bathing, and there were two groups that had neck pain. And one group added in a 4-hour stretching and strengthening exercise. And what they noticed is the painful, tight trigger points in the neck area were reduced more in the exercise group, due to the stretching, of course. But pain, inflammation, and range of motion in the group that didn't exercise was just as good. I think that's amazing. That forest bathing had that effect. And there are so many reasons to go for a walk in the woods. But certainly if you are not able to get out and about at this time, I hope that you're enjoying this journey through the woods, this opportunity to see the Lilydale Woods in another light. There have been times that I've spotted various wildlife in here. White-tailed deer have leaped through here on their way. They've bedded down in different sections with their fawns. And of course there are squirrels and chipmunks. So I hope you're enjoying this lovely walk through the woods with me and getting a taste of what forest bathing is like. I wanted to share some of that scientific information with you, just so you can understand there's some reasoning beyond just that spiritual aspect. Although the sacred connection with trees can never be replaced by what science tells us. What is real in our lives is the sacred connections we make with our own souls, with the divine, and with other beings. That's what's real. That which is of the light, and that which is of the soul. The soul eternal, the light eternal. I think it's one of the reasons why I love coming into the woods and seeing how light is in this space. You can see the different rays of sunshine. You can see how some trees grow best in the light. They're all reaching for the light as we are. Thank you for joining me today on an autumn walk through the woods. I hope that you continue to enjoy forest bathing, and I'll see you next week. God bless everyone. Bye.